What's good, beautiful people? Welcome to the podcast, Two Vegetarians Eating Chicken. It's your boy, Mr. Lingo himself.
It's your boy, like it or not.
Who always got something to say. He gonna continue to leave that out and fill it in for him. But we got an amazing show for y'all today, man. If you are new to the channel, you feel me, make sure you go follow the YouTube, subscribe, like, comment, you feel me, follow the Twitter, the TikTok, the IG, 2VEC Podcast, the number 2 VEC Podcast. Welcome to the show. We got some lovely ladies with us. Please introduce yourselves.
My name is Rhonda Mahone. I grew up on the south side of Chicago. What else did you need to know? I'm a singer, local artist. If you need anything for weddings, bar mitzvahs, funerals.
Nice plug.
Well, hello there, everyone. I am Queen. That's all you need to know right now. I'll tell you later. Now, I am a school teacher for Chicago Public School System. Playwright, artist. I write plays, and I teach children how to act on and off stage. Niki's Theater Company Performing Arts Center, coming to a corner near you.
Right on the bottom, see it's going to be down there somewhere, you know. Well, welcome to the show. We're very thrilled and excited to have you ladies. Me and my partner brother KJ was talking, and we had a lovely guest on the show, female guest on the show last week, and we was like, hey, to each his own. They kind of clashed. Y'all will see it in the drop soon. Y'all definitely had some very
great conversation.
It got spicy.
Shout out to you, Core.
Oh, I ain't fan. She gonna see this too. Sorry, Corinthia. She gonna see this too. Cause she definitely be watching the show.
Sorry.
So anyway, it had me thinking that it would be just really amazing to, cause she just spoke with such wisdom, and she had her moments, and I was like, oh, we gotta get some more wisdom from some more mature ladies on the show. So real quick history lesson. So Queen to my right here was my 4th grade teacher.
Shit like that.
I ain't telling nothing because they don't know how old I am. Actually, they probably do know how old I am.
Yes, I was.
I just had to put that in the universe,
It's okay. I'm all right. I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah. It's just such a privilege to sit here and have you on the show. She's taught me a lot, a lot of things that have stuck with me, and here I am today, 2VEC Podcast. So
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. So anyway, we thought it'd be dope to have you ladies on. We got some questions for you guys. We're gonna chop it up. I'm gonna let KJ kick off the first question.
Oh my God, I've been for
because it's just you got it already.
It is what it is.
So fair. So you feel me? Let's get right into it. You know what I mean? Let's have some good time.
So off camera we talked about you guys dating younger men. So we'll just jump right into this. Do older women date younger men possibly to control them? Like it's assumed that older men date younger women.
Okay, so the question you're asking...
Do older women date younger men so they can have more control?
I don't. Well, I didn't. I was married now. I didn't date, you know why I dated younger men?
Why?
Because I have a very young spirit. Okay. And the sex was good. Okay.
Shit like that.
When in that interim, it was, I like life, like energy. During that time in my life, it wasn't okay, let's sit home and look at television, let's go out, let's have fun, let's do the thing,
Did they dictate where you guys went?
No. It was I have taught myself how to be submissive. Wait. She
taught herself how to be submissive.
I did. You have to.
I just thought that's a key thing since we talk about a lot of alpha and beta situations. And she taught herself to be submissive.
Right.
It's an
Y'all hear that
concept, but we'll dive into that a little later, maybe different time, different place. Anyway, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, but you have to. If you care about the man that you are with, be it young or old, and you know his character, and you're not there to try to control him, you're there to love him, to find a level. Now this might strike at a low, and I don't mean any harm, but a lot of times women mature faster than men do. So here I am, an older woman dealing with yet an even younger man, not just in age, but mentally. So I can't be in this relationship acting like his mama.
That's fair.
Although a lot of them be looking for mama figures.
Fair. I mean, but a lot of women be looking for. No.
Looking for what?
They be looking for like a replacement son, someone to take over. I mean, you know,
Oh, you
to
mean
feel
the
older
gotcha.
be looking to like, you know,
A replacement son.
my baby's kind of gone, so at the same time I can nurture and cater you and also have the sexual whatever relationship.
Well, let me tell you something. I don't like nurturing because I feel like I've raised a man already.
Fair.
You know, I will show him where I see he's weak. I'll make him strong. I will do that. You know, but you didn't use my car because you didn't come with one.
Shit like that.
You did not use my money because all you had was the money that you had. No, we gonna be grown. See, I'm not gonna sit up and nurture and spoil a man. I'm screwing and raise a man that I had.
Fair.
You understand what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Yes.
But I'm
it's
just
the
saying
truth.
what's out there is not
I don't know what's out there. I'm not even out there now. I'm married now with an old man. Look, I'm married now, so I mean, I'm talking back in the days, you know, when I was out there, and I wasn't out there because can we be transparent? So when I met this young man, you guys, and my husband knew about it, so this ain't nothing new, and I'm the world about it. I wanted a one night stand. Because I had never had one. This is years ago, y'all. This is back in my days. My son was off to college. I was doing my thing. Brought my house. I'm riding like in school, making my money, educated and everything. And I, you know, my friends were older than me. And everybody's talking about what they, one night stands, and they don't have all kind of stuff. I just want boys everything they talking about that they had. And I just felt like I was left out. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to have a one night stand one of these days. So I met this guy, well, he met me, and I'm like, what? Oh, so all I thought about was, that might be a good candidate for a one-night stand. Now, that's what it was, and he knows about this. And my husband too, and it turned out to be a 4-year relationship.
That's great.
He came looking for me. I said, what the fuck? Wait a minute, whoa. I didn't tell him where I lived, I didn't know that. This man found out, he said, no, we don't have one night stands. You're going to be my friend. And that man wind up was one of the guys who had to help me when I had an injury. He cared for me for about 7 months. That is such. So I still to this day have not had a one night stand. I'm not looking for it now because I'm not older now, but that's what happened.
Wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
Don't one night stand.
Damn.
You got some 2 cents? You
Uh,
got something you want to add to that question?
you know, well, we just can't speak for everyone. We can only speak for ourselves. But I'm not in a relationship with a younger man to be his mother, or to baby him, or to.
Not to be his mother, it's just to have more control than you would a man your age.
No, I'm not trying to control. And basically, the guys that I did date, they were younger. I think they were more of an alpha.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Actually, the young man I'm talking about is an alpha. Bye, alpha.
Bang.
The alpha fly he said, damn it.
This is what it is.
But it's gonna be.
Right here.
I
You
mean,
feel it?
and he
No,
did.
that's fair. That's fair.
Now, I am going to say something. I looked for someone that can come in and I owned a 2-flat building at the time that can do some labor work and whatever he know how to do. I taught him how to do. So it saved me some money. He had to be strong. We had to take care of, you know, you doing this, so now you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. My son, he said, ooh, my mama gonna work you. She work all her boyfriends. I said, boyfriends, I mean her friends. And her girlfriends. I said, girlfriends? He said, no, I'm just saying friends. And Jerry, everybody got to work for Queen. I said, you shut your mouth up on the back.
I'll go bust it. Just saying.
No, that's fair. So no, I guess we so
I ain't care.
Why would you? You alpha. Why would you care? I mean, why would you care? No, it's great because it leads us to the next conversation.
Facts, but just to close on this question, I think the reason, well, it probably came up for a variety of reasons, but men in general get a lot of slack for dating younger women. Older men in general get a lot of slack for dating younger women, and so, but when it's reversed, it kind of comes with this connotation of like, you know, women want to be in control and just things that we've seen. Like, you know, obviously you married now, so you know you don't be out there like that. You know?
Nah.
But anyway, I just wanted to touch on that last, you know, little piece. But what's the transition?
Rhonda's got something to say.
No, I'm just saying, I just haven't witnessed.
And that's fair though. And that's fair, but it definitely happens.
Yeah, I'm
You know
sure.
what I mean?
it
Because
does.
I've seen it in person. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? Like, for real. No fault to the woman. I mean, if the man gonna let her do that, then you know, ain't nothing I can really do or say about it. But
I mean, it's not your relationship anyway to do anything about
it's
it.
not.
So it's
You know,
there,
I can't.
but
I
you
can't.
can easily see it and be like, I don't know about
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so I can't.
Sometimes men want to be in that position.
And
You a new fool.
There you go. There's a beta men
I don't think that should ever be a thing.
who want to be led by a female. And there's nothing wrong with that. We're not saying as if there's anything
So
wrong
have
with
you ever
that.
been led by a female?
It is something wrong with that. But what
You
you
a
mean?
lie. Your mama led you.
That's a difficult conversation. Don't have on camera. So.
Okay. But some women have led you. You
No,
came
a
out
woman
of
has,
a
a
woman.
woman has,
So-
but
so-
to be led in a relationship is what we're talking about.
Are you in a relationship now?
I am.
Okay.
So let me ask y'all a
And
question.
who leads? Who have final say?
Let me ask y'all a
Me.
question.
Shit like that.
You feel good about that?
I'm just
That
saying.
brings you to put your hair on your chest
It
because
doesn't do anything for me personally. I mean, but at the end of the day, I
So-
feel like you really want that answer. So yes, I
So
lead
in
a relationship,
so in
every
a
relationship that I've ever been in. No, we can stay here. Stop trying to
No,
cut us off, boy. We have
I'm
a
not.
conversation
I'm not.
right
I'm
now.
saying so in a relationship. I just want to get this out so before we won't forget it. So from y'all opinion and experience in a relationship or you know via a marriage, are the men supposed to leave the household?
well, it depends. Go
What
ahead,
does it
I'm going
depend
to say
on?
yes.
Okay, no, in general, no, you know, and then you can say what it
In
depends.
general,
on.
yes.
In general. Okay.
Yes, they should be.
Okay.
They should be able to lead the the household.
Mhm.
Be it if they purchased it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is the depend you was about?
So let me generalize this statement.
So you're saying there can be situational things? Is that what you're?
When you, and this is just generally speaking,
Okay.
when you allow someone to lead that have never been in that position to lead, things can fail.
Fair.
Okay, so with that being said, as a woman who have her own, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I meet a man that comes into where I'm at, I'm opening up saying, hey, this was mine, this is yours, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna observe and watch and see if he knows how to.
Mm-hmm.
And when I see that there's a place he doesn't know how, that's when I intervene to help.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not saying, okay, nigga, you can't do blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what you do, it's how you do it. Again, you have to understand the source. You
Right.
understand what type of man you're with.
Mhm.
You know, if you have a soft-spoken man, then you can't yell at him. You have to find his love language. You have to figure out a way to communicate so he can still feel empowered, but yet being taught.
Mm-hmm.
Because every man want to be taught.
You would hope so.
Yeah, yeah. I think we all need to learn from each other. And when you go into a relationship, be it old or young, whatever, go in with an open heart, learning, trying to find out what about that person where I can feel. What can I do to fill that person's void? I'm not there to tear him down. That's not even my character. Because when you bash a man, and see, I think different. I have a different perspective because I've raised a man. So I knew that if I tear him down, he would be a little punk out here on the streets, right? So I had to teach him responsibility, and that was my core. That's why he called me now Sergeant Queen. We don't say it like that. That's what he meant. He's really rough on me because he felt like I was like this worst mom. I beat him. I did this. I want to say, well, I should have whipped you more because now you're talking stuff. And whatever I did, look at you. You're walking around here with a 2-flat brick building, making more money than most men I know. Come on now. No record.
You did it right.
Working on a master's degree. Working at a law firm. Driving. Come on now.
You did it right.
So yes, you should think.
Okay. So we all
Hey,
in
look at me.
agreement.
I'm just saying, you just right next to me on this side right here. You just on the side. You know, I just looked that way.
You should.
I had a little flashback.
That's all right. Okay.
You got the next one.
So what y'all thoughts on two husbands?
Shit like that. Shit like that.
Drop.
Wait, explain your question.
It's starting to be a
on
thing.
women having two husbands.
Oh,
Like, so-
damn,
so
that would
we-
be great.
Face
Right
first.
one now, baby. Ooh.
Wait. So let me get it out.
Yes.
We recently came across something,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a woman. I think she was. The picture I came across was a woman in Virginia who, I think in August 2020, got married to two men. Like,
She's
pretty much.
She's my superstar.
But it's not unknown across the world, so I did some research on it, and like in Nigeria and some of the other Eastern countries, of course, women are married. Women are able to marry two husbands, and they're not. It's not like they're dead. It's like we're here. So the lady posed with her husband right here. She was in the middle, and then the husband was on the other side. I can show you the
Shit,
picture.
that making me feel kind of different. Try to close your ears, boy. I know, but damn. Let me stay composed here.
So go, while I look for the picture, you
Okay.
guys can go ahead and give me your thoughts on having
Go ahead,
two husbands.
I'll wrap it up. What you
I
think,
have to
Ron?
think about that one. I think that it's to each his own. I mean, whatever floats your boat and that makes you happy and you can deal with that.
Would you do it?
That's a good question.
In my younger years, I probably would have.
That's fair.
I probably would have.
Why not now?
Right now, I think I'm a little settled, but in my younger years, I wouldn't have minded at all.
You my girl. Yes.
I guess.
That's another one.
Yes. I ain't mad
As
at
a-
You know, when you're younger, you have your children and you're trying to raise your children. It's just good to have those.
I don't know. As a man, though, I ain't trying to share.
I would do it if my
Knowingly, I'm not trying to share. I don't know. That's just me.
Well, I'm for a different reason. It's not about the sex. It's not about, well, yes, it probably would be about sex too.
That's
But
fair.
I would want it because, and no disrespect when I say this. Sometimes it takes multiple men to make one man.
I can see
You know, and when a man young is vibrant, but as he gets old, things deteriorate. We're just gonna speak in general because we don't know who's going to see this. Whereas if with a woman, she gets older and she becomes like that 21-ish menopause type thing, right?
So
And he's sitting there and
Wait,
he's
say it again.
had
Question.
menopause.
Question.
You said when a woman gets older?
Yes.
Okay, I see what
So
you're saying.
real question though.
Mm-hmm.
While she's in a relationship with this man and they're growing together, is she holding back sexually and not fulfilling those?
Wait a minute, say that again.
While she's growing with this young man who she met, let's say they both meet at their
So we back at the young man?
No. We met at like 25 and we
Okay.
grew up together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you hit this menopausal stage that you're talking about, right? Have you been hosing out on me sexually?
How
And
do you hold?
now you're just going like so another topic, and we're not gonna segue yet that we're gonna talk about tonight though, is that women are more willing to do freakier stuff with men who they're just trying to hook up with, as opposed to do it with the partner that they're with.
I think the partner becomes comfortable. Let's just put it out there.
Wait, so we just blame it on the man though?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
why?
Yes. And let me tell you why.
Wait,
Let me
no.
tell you why.
Let's go back.
You said why.
Wait,
You know why?
Let us take our case.
Is he ready?
Let's go back to the two husbands first. But you
I
definitely
know. I
talk
wish you
about
let me do
this.
that too.
No, we're gonna do the two husbands.
Let me tell you why I think. And here's the thing. Of course, this is in my. This is a question, and it's not relevant to my situation. I just have to put that out there.
Shit like that.
Okay.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like
I am in a monogamous relationship
Disclaimer.
with my husband. Okay. Period. Now, get back to this question. So I feel because men do get they get relaxed. They stop doing the things that they did in courting.
So, yeah.
Okay, so no. Let me tell you something real deep. This is real deep.
Go ahead.
Tell me something, cause you know.
We were made out of a rib, right? Right? From a man, right? Okay. So that means that anything you give us, we're going to give it back to you double. We're going to give it back to you double because we come from a rib of a man.
Not always. Huh?
I've been told by this wise older guy, if you want a woman to love you, learn her love language and love her.
I agree with that.
She's gonna gravitate to any energy and synergy that you give and double it and pour it all onto you. But what happens is, once a lion, man, alpha,
Here we go.
Shit like that.
bait
Shit like that.
his
Shit like that.
prey
Shit like that.
woman,
Shit like that.
beta, or whatever she is at the time, you don't really care. You got it. Boom. Your quest for what I can do, because I'm trying to see how strong and how long my thing can get in and move on and stay on point and on that journey, follow me. Now you at somebody else's thing, because what happens to a woman when you insert in us, you're marrying us. When you give us what you have, you get an erection. It's a psychological, therapeutic, scientific sort of thing that your thing got to come when you catch blue balls, right? With a woman, when you all look at relationships, y'all looking, you might, some of y'all fall in love, whatever. But it comes to a point, okay, I got that.
Bang, bang, bang.
But is it our fault that the women can't keep our interest? If you can't give me beyond sex, what are we doing?
If a woman can turn flips with her ass straight out in the open and shake everything and this, that, and the other, you'll still see something flying by. Your male tendencies will follow that.
Well, that's just nature setting up, right?
Okay.
Because nature set us up for us to be able to do that and repopulate, as opposed to having you sit down. It's not my fault, it's nature's fault.
Okay, then we blame it on nature. What's his name?
Ask your God.
Face
What is
first.
nature's name?
Ask the God.
What's nature's name?
I mean-
If you make a woman happy, if you laying it down like you're supposed to lay it down with a woman, and you're loving her, you know her love language, and you doing what you have to do, you don't, 9 times out of 10, if she ain't, promiscuous, you gotta worry about her going out on you.
Yeah, but I mean, we can look at, so that just proves that men may need more than just sexual and physical satisfaction to be completed and feel whole.
Right.
Because if I'm feeling incomplete,
But
then
that's not
I'm
that
off
one-
to the next person.
Right.
I mean, so
But that's not that woman's fault, though, that you need
no
more.
one said that it was.
Oh.
But what I'm saying is, I think I talked about it in a couple podcasts before this one, that it's easier for a woman to find a man, but it's harder for her to keep one. And so with that whole setup and design, what eventually gets spilled out is that women consistently say, well, the man did X, Y, and Z. He got hot and he looked for another piece of tail. He moved on so fast. He X, Y, and Z. He did this.
See,
he
that
did
don't
that.
go with every woman.
It doesn't,
Because
but majority of the women.
I've seen relations a long time.
I mean, but so then we can even take it and we'll transition. We're not even gonna transition because we got like 5 minutes. But
Before we do that, I wanna, we pretty quiet on this left side, so I wanna see
With
what.
I think that goes both ways
Talk a
sometimes.
lot
I know
about
you're looking at it from like a woman's side, but I'm looking at it. I don't know if I'm looking at it from a man's side.
Please
I'm
say
not a
it.
man.
Thank you. But you see how your mind just went there, though, right? A lot of women don't look at it from a man's perspective.
Yeah, so
They always
it's
look at
like
it from theirs.
sometimes you get women in relationships, and once we get there, we're lackadaisical. You forget
Shit
about
like
the
that,
men.
shit like
You
that,
take care of
shit
your
like that,
kids,
shit
you
like
take
that.
care of your job,
Yeah, like
you
women
taking care of your
have
other
routine
businesses,
sex.
and you're
We
not
have sex on Friday,
you're not
Wednesday.
giving the man the energy that you gave him before.
That's right. Yeah.
So they will lose that interest and go somewhere else. Now, a lot of times when they go somewhere else, if they're just going to get tail, a lot of times that might be all that they're going to get from that person.
Yeah, because I still love you.
But he still loves where his home is, and he just goes out. Now, we don't like that, but the truth of the matter is, it takes two.
Yeah.
So you have to treat your relationships. You still have to have date nights. You still have
That's
to put all
right.
that energy
That's
into
right.
that, and that takes two people. So relationships is a hard thing.
It is.
It's a
Ultimately,
very difficult,
yeah.
challenging thing, but it's a beautiful thing
Yeah.
when it's right.
Yeah, that's true.
So I haven't found the key to what's 100% right and to get it that way yet, and I don't know if I will, but
Right.
I'm in that ever pursuit,
Yeah.
and I'm growing and knowing things, you know,
Daily.
yearly, you know. So
So there's an artist who I like, who dropped a album recently. He got a track on there called "Pride is the Devil," and it resonates with me so much. Not even just for me, I would assume it resonates for a lot of people because we as humans can be super prideful, and I think that's where the nail really kind of hits the head in relationships, right? Because well, especially women just can't be wrong. No offense.
You're right.
They just can't be wrong, right?
Now I tell me not.
You're a new fool. So let me. So I saw a video today, and I'm gonna try to get it right as best as I could. A male was having an interview with a female, and he asked her, "How can you tell the difference between a woman and a hoe?" So she kept trying to explain all these different scenarios. He asked her 4 times. He said, "No, listen, baby, listen. No, you're not listening to me. You're not. How can you tell the difference visually? How can you tell the difference between a woman and a hoe?" She was like, "Well, you know, listen, baby, you really not listening to me. I'm gonna ask you the last time. How can you tell the difference between a woman and a hoe?" And she said, "Well, because he had to point out again visually." And she was like, "Well, you can't, because you don't, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what she's done." She tried to break it down in all these different ways.
Right.
And it was just funny to watch him go through that whole scenario. It was funny to watch him go through that whole scenario. And she was really just not wanting to be wrong, or just felt like she needed to be right, or whatever the case was. It was just interesting to watch that whole thing. And so anyway, that just made me think of the song "Pride is the Devil," and that's how we typically, as human beings, and when we're in a relationship, fall short, because we can't die enough to ourselves to be able to
Shit like that. Shit
fulfill
like that.
who
Shit
this
like that.
individual is, and
I love
everything. It's just like school, you know what I'm saying? When we're in a relationship, it never stops, right? We got to keep knowing and educating ourselves on this individual, and we would hope that they can die to themselves and do the same for us. Like, you know, it's like elementary school, high
You need
school.
to put that somewhere. You need to put something.
You know, so it's mad interesting, you know,
Right.
and that's just me
Oh,
speaking
okay.
from experience. You
Yeah.
know, I had to learn a lot, you know, in my prior relationship, and having it fail to look back and, damn, so what did I do wrong? You know what I mean? And not dwell on what she was doing, like, you know what I'm saying? And so yeah, here we are today, and
teachable moment.
That's a
yeah,
moment,
very very teachable moment.
You have
know
to
what I'm saying?
learn to kill, not, I hate to say kill yourself, but you're so right. That, I mean, if we go in a relationship selfless, identifying with the person, getting to know the person, not just jumping into bed and doing this here, but really jump into a situation of knowing, like who, and then here's the twist to it all. Getting in it and finding out that it doesn't work and being okay to get the hell on up out of it.
Yep.
So we won't hurt each other.
Yep.
That's important. That's important. Because everybody that you like, you ain't gonna learn how to, you can't live with. And everyone you live with, you ain't gonna like.
I agree with that.
Are women willing to be more submissive to a street man because of the fact they assume that they're more alpha? That's the question. So the guy that's like
opinionated
like
question.
outside, like you see, who's like, we'll say, well, you guys probably wouldn't care for him, but
Well,
who
On the
just
hood, dudes, you know.
What's
that nigga in my house is still every damn day.
Hood dudes.
No.
So y'all like nice guys?
I like geeks.
Shit like that. Shit like that.
So
Shit
they
like that.
educated, they got money, and they know how to take care of me if I get sick.
So what's your type? Because you single right now, right? What's your type?
I'm single. I'm not. I don't know what you mean by street guy exactly. I want somebody who's
Right from the hood.
gainfully employed, educated.
Right, love the Lord, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So that's your type?
Yeah.
Somebody who's gainfully
Employed,
educated.
knows how to communicate, know how to treat a woman.
people don't talk on,
Yeah. I'm
You
not a
got
street
you
guy.
got a race preference? Yeah, we can
I
pass that.
prefer my black brothers.
Face first.
That's first and foremost, yes.
You ever dated outside your race?
When I was younger, but it wasn't, I don't think I can consider it really a date. It was just, I was going to talk to this guy. He was Puerto Rican. But,
Just not like this.
but I'm into my black brothers. I prefer.
Alright, so we can go on to the next one then. If body it's not good enough, right? What women do to maintain their relationship with men, right? So, it's, for example, right, Cardi B has been cheated on a lot. So has Beyonce.
No,
Well,
Cardi B.
not a lot. You know,
Y'all know who
I
Cardi B
heard
is?
of.
you know who Beyonce is?
Yes.
Okay, so Beyonce, right? We can say she's like one of the most beautiful people out there.
I believe
In the industry.
Okay. In the industry, right?
Yes.
And she's very successful, right? But
Yes.
she's been cheated on. So obviously it's something there that she can keep her man, right? So
Why come she couldn't keep her man? Why come he just was an asshole and didn't know?
I mean,
Shit
she's
like
still
that.
valid.
Shit like
Right,
that.
that's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying. So
but,
why,
you know.
why does it have to be she
That's a
couldn't
good
keep her
question.
man?
That's a good question.
she couldn't keep her man from cheating. Well, do you like that one?
I mean, she couldn't keep her man. She had no control of his cheat.
Obviously it was something that was there that he wanted to walk out and have something
He
else.
still made a choice though.
No, but it was his choice. Obviously, it was something that
But he made a choice. I mean,
he
but
wanted.
obviously
choice.
it could have been
And he
lacking
must
off
have-
of her though.
No, it couldn't have been because if it was, why is he back?
That's
Why is he back?
true.
If it was a lie.
For status and for money.
For what? They both got money.
That's
But,
That makes no
but for
sense.
status and money, you become a powerhouse instead of like a power individual.
But it doesn't matter. If I don't want you, I don't want you.
No one said that he didn't want her.
Okay, but then why go cheat?
Like I said, so if your beauty, your financial wealth, and your status cannot stop you from a man cheating, then what can women possibly do?
You let his ass go and find another one that won't?
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like
Well,
that.
I don't think nothing though, cause we gonna still,
Right, you
if
don't
we
know.
have all that regardless, we still gonna make the choice to do it.
And then my thing is, you know what? You just contradicted yourself in your
You
question.
did a little bit.
So watch this.
No,
Watch
go ahead,
this.
go ahead.
Watch this. This is the alpha man.
Go ahead.
I do what I want to do because I run the shots because I'm the alpha man. Hootie hoo. But now when it comes time for you to make a choice to cheat, it's because she did something to not keep you from cheating and you an
I didn't
alpha
say
man?
that it was that she did something. I said she's lacking something.
But lacking
So
She's
that's-
lacking. But the world is moving towards body, right? Body and imagery for men to stay in that, like.
But
body,
Beyonce got a banging body.
Wait. Body, imagery, and sex appeal, and how nasty you are in behind closed doors, right? That's what the world is moving towards. If you have all these assets and your man still walks out on you and cheat, what is society saying, and what does that say about those women? And what are we saying?
But it doesn't because he's an alpha man, and so he decided
Yeah,
to cheat. Wait a minute now.
So
you
the
can't be whoa.
Well, no, because I feel like the conversation is being shifted right now, right?
But it's
And so,
not.
but wait, because the conversation is being shifted until he's an alpha man, so he decided to cheat, blah, blah, blah. But the conversation is this. Society has said, if you're beautiful, if you have money, and you can do these things in the bedroom, your man will stay with you. Therefore, we have so many women trying to live up to this Beyonce, Rihanna, Cardi B standards of having beauty, money, and sexual appeal for men, but men are still cheating. So maybe the question is out there wrong, but it's still the underlying tone. You have all these things that society is telling you should have, and yet you still have a struggle of keeping a man. That's the bottom line. What can women do outside of what society is saying to maintain a positive relationship of a man not walking out? Besides the fact of him being a man, because obviously most men cheat when it's something that's not there for them.
I totally disagree with that. I totally.
This is
totally
what
disagree
this is
with
what we
that.
can do then, right? So the
Men
question.
don't cheat because a man wants to cheat. Let me say, a
I don't
woman
think-
don't cheat because a woman wants to cheat.
Facts. So, but look, this is the question. So I don't want us to steer too far away from the question, right? And then I'll give an example of what we can throw in there to help better answer the question. So, if the body is not good enough, what devices will women use to maintain their man? And we use Cardi B or Beyonce as an example, but Cardi B, who's like nasty and has a nice body, I think a little bit of it is fake, but has been cheated on a lot. And so outside of image and money, can she keep her man? So let's use as an example, lack of intimacy, right? So let's use lack of intimacy as an example in a relationship or a marriage, however you want to go about it. And let's say the man is not getting fulfilled in the way that he has either been used to or just not getting anymore, right? So let's say they do have
That's
a
a
schedule.
valid, that's if he's not, right.
Right.
Mhm.
So 9 times out of 10, that man is probably going to go out and look for it somewhere else, right?
As
So
with women, yeah.
if a woman, if
Stop, though. Stop.
hold on, let me finish my point, bro.
Go
Let me
ahead.
finish my point. So let's say this woman does have a great body and she's beautiful and all these things, but she's lacking in that area and not fulfilling me in that area. You know what I'm saying? Sexually. So what else can she do in order to keep me from going to cheat? Is there something that she can do? Am I still going to go cheat regardless? Like I guess that's
so first of all, that's a very open-ended question.
it is.
Because if you didn't say if she's lacking. That's where you missed out at. You didn't say if she stopped doing something that she was once doing.
But you don't cheat unless someone doesn't have something, though.
But
I would never walk out or cheat on my partner unless my partner didn't have something that I needed.
How you know that?
That's not
But
true.
women,
If you
Well, that's
if you get put in a situation,
You
you
can't
never
speak
know,
for
my
everybody
dude.
else.
women generally cheat. Women generally cheat because it's something that the man is missing or it's a void there. And it's vice versa.
Right.
So at the end of the day,
That's-
somebody's lacking something. Period. And that's what we're talking about. What if so the conversation came up because society is telling young girls we should be more like this. Right? And this is how it's presented, right? It's presented in these celebrities. Yeah,
It is being portrayed.
you have your,
It
you
is,
have,
it is,
you have all of this. You have to do this.
That's why they got the long hair, the lashes.
Right, but that's not working.
It's not.
Right? And so, in retrospect, obviously what women need to actually do is pay more attention to what women used to do to keep their mans, like, at home. Now, does that always keep him from cheating? No, but he always came back. 9 times out of 10, if I'm not getting caught, I can't guarantee that I'm always coming back. So, like I said, when society is telling us one way to do things, I keep saying what are women supposed to do, but it's not like that. What can be done?
Now, I like
What can
that.
be done?
Yes. I like that.
What can be done for us to, I guess, stay as a whole? There you go.
Right. So
It's
that's
the
why
same thing.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
That's
What
why-
you
that's why I
did,
brought
let me
that
tell
part
you
up,
why.
bro. No, it's not.
Wait a minute,
No,
let me tell you why. Are you willing to listen? If not, I
I'm
won't
gonna
say
rewatch
anything.
this and I'm gonna show you what I have to
Okay,
say.
he's not willing to listen, so I'm gonna stop.
Be willing to listen. Be
He's
willing to
not,
listen.
so I'm not gonna say, I ain't gonna waste my time with KJ.
No.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
He's out
We're
there.
here because
His
we're
man,
listening
his
though.
man is made up.
I mean, it's not though, because my job doesn't
So,
allow
okay,
me to
so-
completely have one-sided, because my
Okay,
job
so
is to listen.
Can you listen?
Go ahead.
Do I have permission to speak?
Face
Oh,
first.
Thank you. I'm so glad you gave me that permission. So all I'm saying to you is when you worded that question, you blame.
Okay, I put the emphasis on the woman.
Right, and see, that's where the defense came, because it's not, when we're talking about relationships, we know that it can be either or in any case.
True.
It can be either this or that, in any case,
Mm-hmm.
right? It can be either her, him, it can be either right or wrong, wrong or right. In a nutshell, I think it goes even a little deeper with the women and the Beyonce images and everything. I don't think it's too good, because a lot of women are walking around here liking women. I think it's the insecurity of a woman.
That's a huge.
I believe that's what it is. If they don't like what they see in the mirror. I'm gonna give you case in point. I went to go get my locks done. I'm sitting in front of this young lady. She come in with goo globs and makeup on, eyes colored, lashes out here, hair French braided in a circle, long nails, and when they put the blonde hair, it covered one of her, you know how that bob would cover one of your eyes? And she said, now I look beautiful. And it took all of me not saying anything, because you can't say anything to these little young girls out here without them cussing you. And I'm from Inglewood, I'm not gonna cuss out too much. So I stayed my grounds. But it devastated me as a woman to see a young woman clearly cover everything God gave her to love what she sees. And so when you say relationships, and I know we're talking about relationships, I get that. But I think what happens, and women have been scorned and this is statistically stated, if you put a woman in the room with 10 women, out of those 10 women, at least 8 of them have been physically abused, sexually abused, mentally abused by someone that was supposed to love them, be it father, brother, uncle, husband, boyfriend. Okay? So when you got a damaged woman out here, and you put them in a relationship, they're looking for that man to give them something that they don't even know how to have themselves.
So are we all in agreement that insecurity plays the biggest factor in
The decision they make in relationships, yes.
Yeah. So
Man and woman.
let me ask you a question. If we was in a relationship, let's say you ain't have no booty, and I say I'm gonna need you to go get some surgery done.
Shit like that. Shit like that.
And men are asking what
They are.
A little pumper. Would you go do it? Let's say you feeling me.
You gonna pay for it?
You a new fool.
But would you do it if I'm
If
paying?
you gonna pay for it, I might want one. I know a lot
Now,
of
would
people.
you- now-
I know a lot of people that walk around. I'm
Now,
not.
where will we have to be in order for you to say if you gonna pay for it? How deep in the relationship?
We would have to be very deep in our relationship.
Okay.
Like,
Don't y'all need to be married?
like I was about to say, like married, or
Okay.
like getting ready to get married, engaged, or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was curious. I heard that question the other day, and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
I wouldn't do shit. I said go find you a big booty woman.
Right. So that
That's
means
what
you
I would
have-
say.
you
Go
have-
find you a big booty woman, baby, because my ass gonna be just the way God planned it. And when you met me, you knew I had a little ass. Now you want a big ass. So that means you ain't even want me.
Bang,
So we all,
bang.
first of all, I get any kind of ass. You looking at something different than what you said I liked when you first met.
So even going back to that question, right? So society has painted a picture from a celebrity standpoint, however you want to look at it. Let's even if we're just focused on women, right? Because they typically get the short end of the stick when it comes to influence and how they are
Right.
influenced by women in society, whatever, how they need to look, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
I was DJing the other day. It was like a baby shower or something, and as the women started to come in, the girl was having a baby, and her friends and family started to come in. And as I'm behind the DJ booth, I'm like, man, there's some beautiful women coming in here, you know. And then I started to examine them as a whole, and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of fake booties in here. Like I text my barber, I was like,
Men can tell when a booty
oh,
is fake.
I had experience, and I was like, why is this so weird?
Shit like
He
that.
was like, how was that fake booty? I was like, what? That's what it was. Anyway,
Dang!
yeah, it's different.
Off camera, I need you to tell me how you feel.
Yeah.
I'm curious about that.
So
You can tell the booties.
you can tell by the misproportions of whoever that person's body is, right? So like, especially as a man, like you can see right away. So like, as I was examining, I'm just like, man, there's a lot of fake booties in here. And I text my barber, and he was like, yeah, boy, yeah, you know. But some men love that. Like, it's just so unattractive to me personally. But like, again, it's like.
You like it, Kate? You like fake booty, baby?
It don't really do nothing for me, like because I guess, like
Take
you
your
know,
clothes off, you can tell for real.
yeah, you can tell. It's kind of like a shift. You know how
You mean a fake booty as far as the pattern, or you mean a fake
When they
booty?
cut
I mean,
that stuff off,
the
the stomach
surgery.
and need a surgery.
surgery.
What? We know
You know
a
how-
lot of people doing fake
You
booties
know how
and
a
stuff.
real booty kind of like has a wave to it.
Yeah,
Like this one's
right.
kind of. You know what I mean? It's not. There's no. Yeah, there you go. It's just there's no wave. There's no nothing.
I don't know. I don't be looking at ass.
A wave.
I don't know if that's how I heard a wave.
You know what I mean? Like you feel
No
me? Like,
jiggles,
oh,
no
it
shape.
ain't no nothing. Like you know,
It's
so
just like an ice
it's just
cube
like
moving
Jello, right?
across.
If you sit Jello on the plate, if you like take the Jello on the plate and then you just move it, it just kind of like does that little move. That's what a fake booty.
Oh my God. Well, shut your mouth.
There's
Y'all
no-
told us
there's no-
something. These
Yeah.
old heifers.
It ain't like
We old heifers will learn something today, y'all.
So it's interesting. I don't know, but
That's
society,
very interesting.
Man, I
society.
had my ass ain't fake, baby. Mine's jiggle, baby. What? Jiggle, jiggle,
It
baby.
just is.
Girl. Thank you, Lord, for big boo. Thank you.
Society does play a huge role.
Ooh, Lord, thank you. Ooh, girl.
It's almost like they capitalize on insecurity.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah, that's
It's
what I'm
very
saying. Yeah,
profitable,
it's
yes.
super profitable.
Well,
People
I
getting
just-
chunked up and added everywhere.
I mean, that's just the whole society as a whole, though.
Yeah.
But
You got the white people getting tan because they want to be brown.
Mhm.
Then we always
They
had
get
full
big
lips.
lips,
Then they
too.
want full lips.
Uh-huh.
Then they want the behinds.
Mhm.
Then you have the breast enhancements.
But then women,
So-
black women are now doing it. We know.
Yeah.
But
But
there are,
black women.
but
What's up?
because all black women don't have big behinds.
They don't get in the gym, do some squats.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
squat
There's ways to get it, but a lot of,
Yeah.
again, that's that motivation, that's that mental part of it, right? We
Yeah.
live in a society now where instant gratification is a
fast,
thing.
yeah.
We want it right now.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's
We
true.
don't want to work. I want 6-pack abs, or you can just watch for. But I know I gotta keep working that. Like,
That's
you know, so
right.
I can see like 4.5. You know, but I
They
can
come,
see
they
it. You feel
come,
me? And
they
they
come,
there,
they
and it
come.
motivates me every time I look in the
That's
mirror.
right.
Like, oh yeah, them joints coming in. You feel me?
Right.
And it's just the grind, it's the hard work that we lack.
I
in
like the
today's society,
words,
you know?
how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
You
A
know?
lot of us don't want it bad enough.
And to go back to the beginning of his question,
Mhm.
you know, you were saying like, how do the women keep the men? I feel like you don't keep anybody. It's like they do what they want to do. Society has us, would try to have us to feel like if you got this and you got that and you look this way or you look that way, you got these endowments that you're not going to get cheated on. Anybody could get cheated on. It just depends on the individual that you're with and the decisions that they make.
I definitely
In that
agree
moment.
that
So-
anybody can be
You know, you
cheated on.
can't, it's nothing about you the way that you look. Now, as far as you being in a relationship and keeping your relationships, that would have to be some introspection that you would have to do if you keep on getting in relationships and you keep, you know, getting left or dumped or whatever. Then that would be something that you may want to look at, you know, within yourself to see what it is you could do better so that it doesn't keep happening.
How about a question?
Mhm.
How about the question? How bad do you really want this relationship, and what are you willing to do to keep it?
That's right.
You know, and every time we feel like we get to a dry spell, how about we revisit these questions again so we can redirect our energy?
Mhm.
The minister that married my husband and I said something that was so powerful, God rest his soul. He said, every year I date my wife. They was together 13 years. He said, every year I meet a new woman and I date all over again. I'm like, what? And it's for both. He said, because I don't know who I'm going to see when I open the door, because she's always fashionable and she's always presenting herself. He said, and I'm looking to see something great the moment I look at her. I thought that was just so profound. That means that it's going to take work on that man, for that man and that woman. It's something that just have to kill my, it ain't about me. If I want to make you happy, my happiness is going to come because you're happy and vice versa. And if we're driving in that direction together, that means that your responsibility is to make sure I'm as happy as I can be. And my responsibility is to make sure you is as happy as you can be in this relationship. And when we get to a point where we can't show that, we got to sit up like big girls and big boys and say, you know what, this is over. And it's okay. You go on about your business and let me go on about mine without nothing negative. You dirty mother, because you can't call him all that because you was in love with him. So if he's a dirty dog, that makes you a wife. And we have to be mindful of the words we put on each other.
Well, this was a really, really dope show. I very interesting. KJ, I appreciate you guys taking the time to hop on the show.
Thank you for
to
having
that
me.
podcast.
Nice.
Again, if you are new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow the YouTube channel, follow the Facebook too. Actually, the TikTok, the Twitter, the IG. 2VEC podcast, the number 2 VEC podcast. Ladies, do you have any closing remarks that you want people to find your work or anything that you do?
Why you look at me? Because you know I got something to say, huh?
I was got something to say.
I sure do. You're right. Now I like that about you because you know now you know. Now you know what? I feel like this was very powerful. Years ago, in this very same spot, you came to. I used to do relationship forums. It went from 10 people to 89 people till I had to shut it down because half the people I didn't know who they were in my house. And so, but it was so powerful because my overall objective was to find a way for us to coexist in the same synergy and last for a period of time. And with that being said, we did role plays. We act out relationships, like walking in and you see your guy with a girl, and the first thing you're gonna think is what, you know? Yeah, exactly. And then we said, well, pause. Why can't we think she was just out with a friend? And then come to find out he cheated on her before, so she said she forgave him, but she held on to it. So I mean, we went through a lot of different things down here. And I think with that being said, what you're doing here can only filter a thought or feed a person who might be going through some challenges in your lives. Mm-hmm. You know, made me think, you know, about, man, you know, that statement that you said, like, wow, you know, you got to kill yourself. You got to, yourself have to die, right? And then when you said, you know, I'm listening to how social, how the fad is it's so funny, y'all. The mentality that where you all are now, we both like, what? But it is real. Because we see these young girls, you know, the way in the way that they're living. So you guys are on point, and I appreciate you guys allowing us to be on. Thank you.
Appreciate it. I hope you help us.
It's your boy, Mr. Lingo himself.
Back in the night, it's your boy, last one, KJ. Who always got something to say. Since he always say, I'll leave it out. There you go.
Match tonight.
No, I didn't. It'll be again. How was your dad? Alright,
Yeah, I think you kind of like shut down a little bit.
I just want to keep arguing up something. I'm telling you, my background is